Hello and welcome. I'm Zabi Barnes, inviting you to swim with me in dimensional oceans of grace. I first encountered these oceans spontaneously on a day of desperation, total desperation. And I called out for help from the universe. Specifically, I was fumbling with a plastic glow in the dark rosary that a friend had given me from Medjugorje. And I wasn't even Catholic, but I was playing with this rosary because she said it would help me. And the next thing I knew, an amazing experience happened that I can only call a kundalini awakening. I didn't have those words back then, though. So as I fumbled with the plastic beads, all of a sudden I was seeing these amazing, beautiful, glowing, three-dimensional, perfectly symmetrical shapes that were spinning and humming about 3 feet away from me, each one emitting a different musical tone or even a harmonic, like a chord almost. So beautiful, so mesmerizing. It didn't make sense to me. Where was this coming from? And it was one shape at a time, but they were coming in patterns of 7 until the group of 7 shifted. And then it would be a new set of 7. And this went on for quite some time. And I was totally mesmerized. I was no longer worrying about the thing that had caused the despair in the first place. I was no longer afraid. I was totally at peace, just wrapped up in these shapes. And then the next thing I knew, it was like I was flying through space at warp speed, kind of like a scene from Star Trek. And there was no kind of spaceship or anything like that. It was just me flying like Superman through space with stars and planets and galaxies and even universes passing me by at warp speed. And again, I wasn't afraid. It was just beautiful. I was in awe. I was in a state of awe. And then I was aware that as I was flying and all these universes and galaxies are passing me by, that all different kinds of information and knowledge was flooding my awareness. Now I have to say, all of this happened on an afternoon in July of 1997, and there were no drugs, no alcohol involved in this. Just a simple prayer for help and a total surrender. Total surrender. I was having this amazing, what I now would call a kundalini experience, a kundalini awakening, which can happen spontaneously where the energies rise up so fast and you get thrust into this altered state of consciousness. And that's what happened. So as everything was passing me by, or I was passing it by, or however that works, it was as if all of the knowledge of the universe or the multiverse was flooding through my awareness in all different languages, all at one time, everything all at once. It was too fast to even try to put it into words. But it was like I just knew everything, and it was all coming through my awareness so fast. And not just words, it was beyond words. It was light codes, it was sacred geometries, it was a deep inner knowing things that I didn't know before in a flash. And it was also this very interesting sensation of being both at the same time pulled through the macrocosm, that was the stars and the planets, but also being pulled into the microcosm of creation. So I was traveling through DNA. I was in subatomic space at the same time that I was in galactic space. It was all happening at once, and it all looked the same. As above, so below. I understand that now. It all looked the same. And So this was a very multidimensional, interdimensional experience. It was beyond what happens in our everyday third dimensional reality. And it felt, because I kind of am a feeler, I access energy by feeling. So what it felt like was being twisted and pulled and turned inside out and outside in and upside down and right side up all at the same time. It was as if I was swimming in this big ocean and all of the waves were washing over me. And as the waves washed over me, I became one with the water and I was stretching and pulling back together all at the same time. It's hard to try to describe this because really there are not words for an experience like this. I'm doing the best I can and I'm giving you analogies. And then I was in this brilliant white golden light. And there were spirals of energy spiraling me around one way and around another way and this way and that way. And I wasn't sure how much time had passed. When I came to, I woke up out of this experience. And to me, it seemed like maybe it was about 20 minutes. And I found out that actually 3.5 days had passed. So that was really amazing because during those 3.5 days, I was being downloaded, activated with all of this knowledge and all of these light codes and all of this energy. And it seemed like it happened in just a flash, but it was 3.5 days later. And during that 3.5 days, I was frozen in the bed. I wasn't moving. I had been lying down when I was praying, and I didn't move from my spot. I didn't have hunger or thirst. I didn't need to use the bathroom. It was as if everything got put on hold, almost as if I got plucked out of the room into this other reality and then put back in. And so this was remarkable. When I woke up, I noticed a few things. First of all, my fear was gone. My deep depression was gone. The despair was gone. But also, my physical body no longer hurt. So I wanted to understand what had just happened because I was healed. How did that happen? I didn't have a frame of reference for this. And I also thought that if this could help me, maybe there was a way that other people could have the benefit of something like this. If I could figure it out, if I could understand it, maybe there was a way to share it with others and that they could also be healed. So I went on a quest and I started studying different forms of shamanism. And all of this was kind of a foundation because I was searching, trying to understand what had happened in those 3.5 days. Finally, I discovered a way that was different than what I had been taught. And it was a new way that I could teach people how to tap directly into those beautiful spiraling healing energies that I had been downloaded with in those 3.5 days. I found a way that I could share it with others in a way that was really fast and easy and gentle. That's my primary focus, and what you'll see on this website are the best methods that I know to create change, long-lasting change at all levels, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And to do it gracefully and easily and gently and quickly because it's not necessary to suffer in order to heal. In this new paradigm, grace is readily available to all of us. And there are many different ways to tap into it. What you see here on this website are my favorite ways of tapping into grace for spontaneous healing, for spontaneous transformation, for the perfect unfolding in divine timing with ease. Thank you for taking this time with me today, and I look forward to us swimming together in the beautiful dimensions of grace.